configuration management. So step two for the any kind of a framework to create is the configuration management, right? So what do you mean by configuration management? So let me right. So what is a configuration management? So configuration management, it basically means that supporting a different configuration and means whatever the configuration that we have. For example, we can have different configuration for our staging environments, right? And we can have a different configuration for our production environment, right? So for example, production URL can be different, and for staging it can be like staging one dot any kind of an app, right? So configuration management which basically says that in your framework that you are creating, we can change the configuration at any time. We don't have to do much of it. I mean to say that we don't have to change lots of things in your framework whenever we want to switch from one configuration to another. For example, if you want to switch from staging to production and production to staging, it should be so flexible. Your framework should be so flexible that it should support both of it, right? So it should be, I would say, generic rather than hard coded values. Okay, so make sure the framework that you are creating, it supports a configuration management, and the configuration that he is going to pick can come from the different ways, right? So what are the ways? For example, you can use a very important topic which is called as properties file in Java, right? Similarly, generally, if we are dealing with Python and other things, we generally prefer to use YAML or the JSON, right? So in the past we have used property files, right? We for Selenium purpose, generally most of the time I've seen people are still using property file. These are nothing but a key value pairs where you will have a file. For example, you can have a staging key as well as you can have a production key, or you can have a different configuration file for staging or properties. So depending upon the parameter that you are passing from the Maven, for example, if you have passed any kind of parameter like staging, so it will load the configuration of staging and it will append all the things, all will change in your framework, right? Similarly, we have JSON, right? So you can use JSON. JSON is again a simple key value pairs. These are nothing but JavaScript object notations, right? And they are key value pairs that you can use. For example, you can have staging.json and production.json that you can use. And right now, what I have seen that people are start preferring YAML files. YAML files are where basically a structured key value pairs. They can be nested further, right? So people prefer who's working in Python and all, they prefer YAML. It's more structured and human readable rather than properties file. Properties file is again very readable, I would say. So it's a similar to the properties, but YAML is right now becoming a more uh, standard, and people are preferring properties in that case, right? We can use env files also for if you want to use it. We can use iniz xmls, excel files. So I have seen people are using excel file to fetch the configurations, but I would suggest that for configuration purpose you can use any lighter version like yaml or properties. If you have a hard data, for example, if you want to test it out for a different DDT like data driven testing, right? And for data driven testing, I would suggest highly that okay, then you can definitely go with CSV file or Excel files, right? Go with CSV first, comma separated values, rather than Excel files, because uh, whenever we are working with this Excel file, especially with the XLSX, we are working with Jenkins, where Jenkins is installed on most of the time Linux services, and we have a problem in opening those files and all, right? So I would suggest if you can use it CSV files, that are very pretty much it. I have seen a couple of people are using DB MySQL for that case, for configuration management, where they fetch the configuration from the DB itself, but it's not recommended by you. They use generally JDBC drivers and all, but not recommended from my side. And I prefer properties or YAML file depending upon it. So do let me know in the comments, means how do you feel, which configuration is best. And in this project, we are using properties for the most of the time. And for the DDT purpose, we will basically use any kind of a CSV file, okay, or Excel file also. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So points to keep in mind that whenever you are adding any kind of a configuration management or configuration file, they should have a default value. So that's one of the important things. For example, if you have added URL, right? So make sure you have a default URL set already, because whenever we are loading this configuration, you can have null pointer exception at that time. So make sure you have a default values, default browsers if you want to add it, right? Make sure all the configuration that you are adding can be replaced at the runtime. For example, if I have passed a staging environment, a staging parameter to the Maven when I am running, right? Make sure that your these values are supported. So you can use system.get in that case. I'm going to show you how you can do that. So you can basically override all those things also. Configuration files needs to be only happen once, so you can load only once. Make sure you try to use the singleton pattern in that case. So make sure, so I'm going to show you how you can do it, right? So for the classes, what you need is that you can create a config dot, this is config, right? So this is config dot properties, and create a class to basically get a key, or I would say read a key, right? Read key. So what exactly it is, let me show you how it looks like. So okay, so what we gonna do, let me do one thing for configuration, right? So let's do one thing. So we are going to add the configuration in the resource. So let's create a directory. Maven is already suggesting you can create a resource here, right? So this, in the resource we are gonna create a file. So this will be our let's say right now we are working with production, so it will be production config.properties, right? So this will be your first property file. Now what you can do in this property is that the first thing is that let's do one thing. Let's add what is the browser that we want to run. For example, right now we want to run on Firefox. What is the URL, right? So we are going to use the app.vw.com. Basically we are automating this website, right? So that's what we are doing, right? We're gonna use a username and we're gonna add the password, right? So make sure you add all those things. So I have a username already stored somewhere. Let me copy this right here. Let me copy the password also. So I'm going to use this one, right? So this is the website. This is the thing that we are on automating. So let me show you again. So this is the URL, right? And this is the username that I have already given you. Like if you do login, it will log into your page and it will basically say your username as Wikipy, and this will load your user a smart, a kind of a dashboard to you, right? It's already telling you your trial has expired. That's so fine. So this is what we want to verify. So these are two test cases. The first one is logging and second is verifying the dashboard. So there are two pages, okay, that we are going to use in this framework, right? So this is actually what we can do. So we have a product configuration. Similarly, let's do one thing. Let's paste again. You can have a staging also, right? Let's stage. So for suppose for staging purpose, it was a different. For example, let's say it was a staging. This is just an example, guys. This will not be open. So example, we have a different website. So you can do one thing in your framework for staging. You can change here, right? Rather than, and similarly, you can have a, for example, stage one, right? These are some dummy accounts that you are using. So these are just a configuration, right? And right. So that's how you can manage it. But the problem here is that so how do we load this, right? How do we load this properties file? So what you can do, this is where the magic comes. So what you can do, what you have to do is that you need to basically uh, add a proper folder structure for your custom framework, right? So that's what I'm going to show you right now, that how, what is the folder structure for your framework that we are using, right? So main and test folder are clear, right? So in the Java, this here, right, in the Java, so what we have is that we need to add certain package. So click on this scroll test, right? We need to add certain packages. So the first package will be the base, right? And let me create first, and then let me show you after this. Like you can create a, okay. So you can create a package again. So in the base, we want, in this scroll test we want pages also, right? And let's create quickly your utils, right? Right, that's enough, right? So now what will happen is this. Let me show you what will happen. Eh, yeah, let me draw something for you. So basically, we are following a page object model. Okay, I think I lost the connection. Yeah, I think I lost the connection. No problem. Right. So, okay. So just right now, I'll explain you these two directories after when we are discussing the page object model. So, right. So we can discuss more about it. But right now, we are using utils. So we need to add the configuration management in the utils. Just remember that like this. Okay. So here, what you need is that you need a file. So let's make it the name of it's like property reader, right? So this will be our file, which will basically let me tell you what it will do, right? So give me 1 second. Yes. So this will basically the it will read the properties file in the resource, right? And it will have a function which will basically kind of a read item, and whatever the key I will give you, for example, if I give you a URL, right, and it will return me the this URL key, the value, right? So it will return me this. If I pass it like browser, it will give me Firefox in that case, right? So again, this configuration that we can add in TestNG also. So right now I'm not adding it, but definitely you can add parameters similar way that you add it in TestNG also. For the sake of purpose of the demo, we are not doing it, but definitely you can watch my like TestNG demo where we have added all these things by using parameters and all, right? So you can use that the same way. Awesome, right? So what let's start doing it. Let's code side by side. So first of all, what we need is that we need a static properties, right? So properties is the class that we are using. This is in the Java util, and we're gonna create an instance of it, right? This is not an instance, it's just a reference, right? And first of all, we need to load it. We know it. So here we need to load the file from the resource folder, right? This was the step one, right? We need to use. So we will basically create a function. Let's call it load all properties. So this will only load all the properties, right? And it will load only once, right? So we can say that property is equal to new properties, right? And here we are basically going to read the file. Let's say prod config dot properties. Okay, so we'll basically read the file. So I would suggest that whenever we are reading file, always add a try catch, right? And for try catch, this is if we are reading a file, so we can have IO exception in that case, right? So let's do like this, E, right? And you have to add. Okay, so let's add catch. Why? That's why it's giving us prop. So we need to get the first we need to get the file name, right? So let's say file name, and from where we are getting by using system.get property, right? And we'll basically get the current user directory of the person, and after that we'll basically, for example, we want this file, right? So you can by using in the IntelliJ you can use copy from content root and paste it here, right? Make sure you add slash in that case, right? So now you will have a file name, whatever the file that you want to read. So now again here also you can make this function with params, right? Right. For example, you can have a file, I mean to say name like something like this, right? So here you can replace which name you want to read here, right? But right now I'm just reading it from a single file. I'm just hard coding it in this case, right? But you can definitely change it whenever you want. For example, whenever you are creating a properties object or property reader object, right? You have to pass name of it, right? And I'm going to show you in the end how you can do it. But right now, just let's add it like this. So now you just need to load this file. So you can use properties dot load mechanism, right? So if you see, we have, and with this required input stream, right? So what input stream we can use? We can use file input stream, right? And file input stream just ask us that what is the name of your file and where it is. Make sense? Right. And in the catch, if we are not able to find it, right, we need to throw some exception, right? And we need to basically give a proper message, so we can use runtime exception with the message not able to find the file. That's what we want to print. Okay. So this is our configuration management, right? But this was the step one, but right, we need to do the second step, which is we need to create a function also, read item, right? So let's do one thing. Let's create a public static. Again, it will be a static one, and let's make it read item in that case, and it will take a string, of course, right? What is the property name that you want? And here you can basically return whatever the properties proper properties dot get property, right? So we can pass it like this. So whatever the property I'm able to find it, I'll just return it, right? Now everything is great, but the problem here is we need to initiate whenever we basically create the property reader. We want to whenever we create a property reader instance, we want to load the properties, right? So that's what we want to do. So that is now created, right? So this is our property reader is ready, which is our configuration management. Make sense? I think it makes sense to you. uh, I don't know why it is not coming. Yeah. So this is our configuration management step. Now we have a function. Okay, come on. Yeah. So now we have a file, which is again a util file. So how we can use it, I'm going to show you here also. So you need to create a property reader instance, right? Instance, and a call read item with the string, and you can use it anywhere you want. Cool. So that's what you can do. This is your configuration management step. I hope this is clear. Awesome. Right. So this is how we have completed our second step now. Right. So we have completed the second step, which is adding the configuration reading, right? So that's how we will basically manage the configuration. Here, guys, we'll basically change this to make it like more dynamic in the end, right? But right now we're just reading it from one file. That's enough. So that just wanted to create it first.